Finally, Bryce Huff is on the IR, out for the rest of the regular season or close to it. And Devontae Smith is now officially out with a hamstring injury for this game against the LA Rams on Sunday night. And we have more roster moves for the Philadelphia Eagles. We're going over the LA Rams, all that great stuff, their rankings, what's going on. And let's get into it.
A killer buried, but not dead.
Darren, we better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Look at these results. People are making free money. They're making thousands every month betting on sports completely risk-free. The secret, they're using OddsJam. OddsJam isn't just another betting app. It's turned the entire system in your favor. Here's how. OddsJam uses a strategy called arbitrage, finding odds differences across sports books. You bet both sides, and no matter the outcome, you will profit. Here's an example. If you put $500 on Boise State to win on FanDuel and $335 on their opponent, San Francisco, on DraftKings, you'll guaranteed to make $50, win or lose. It's that simple. With the OddsJam mobile app, you'll get real-time alerts on these opportunities every day. People are making thousands monthly. And to get you started, use code Joey for 35% off and a 7-day free trial. I guarantee you'll profit during the trial, and if you don't, cancel with one click. No questions asked. Don't leave money on the table. Go to oddsjam.com, use code Joey, and start making money the smart way. All right, what's going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Hope everybody is enjoying getting ourselves into the weekend. Finally off this mini bye off of the Thursday night game against the Washington Commanders. And we have the LA Rams on Sunday. So kind of going through the week of what's been going on and a few things. There's some roster moves here to definitely look at. First, okay, Bryce Huff is finally on the IR. I was kind of waiting for this, he's going to have the minor wrist surgery. Jalix Hunt is going to get more reps. You're hoping your defensive line won't be hurt by this, but only can get better to see more of the young guys, I guess, still produce. And Jalix Hunt, all eyes on him on Sunday. Another game under his belt, under the lights Sunday night against the LA Rams. So it'd be nice to see what the rotation, what the numbers are going to be on some of the snap counts for some of these guys. Nolan Smith playing a lot better right now. Jalix Hunt getting his opportunity. Brandon Graham being a nice rotational player. And Josh Sweat is having a fantastic year so far. So we'll probably not get Bryce Huff probably by the second to last game or the last game of the season, whether the Eagles have to play the last week of the season or they have the number one seed locked in at that point. And, depending on what happens the next few weeks and what happens to the Detroit Lions, and there's a lot that goes into it, but Bryce Huff will be back. And if this is just going to make Bryce Huff better, then, he can't even grab with both hands. He's been wearing a cast the past couple weeks on one hand, can't grab people, can't really be himself out there. So the Eagles said, you know what, I think he should take care of this as early as possible. And, he'll be back once the Eagles are in the playoffs, and once we're close to that point, and hopefully with some extra rest and extra practices, he'll be perfectly fine when he comes back. Now, the number one news for the day is Devontae Smith is out. Is going to be out on Sunday with a hamstring injury. Now, Devontae Smith has been he's been dealing with a hamstring injury the last few weeks, okay? Even this week in practice, he was light on some days. This is where I get really not even nervous because, we've been through this early in the season when we didn't have Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown and only had Devontae Smith for a game before the concussion. So, we've had games without one of the two number one receivers on this team so far. Because I get so nervous about these slow frickin' starts, okay, they have to, this is probably my only complaint about this offense realistically is that they're just playing from behind too much, and they can't do this. Like these 15 scripted plays, whatever's scripted in that first quarter, the first half has got to stop. They need a fast start. And obviously losing Devontae Smith, now it makes it easier for the Rams defense to hone in on A.J. Brown. And who else is going to step up? I'm waiting for anyone else to really step up. Like, I haven't I know people in the comment section have been fighting over me over the Jahan Dotson stuff, and I don't know why people are defending, like, why other receivers, it's okay for these other receivers to not get involved because we have Saquon Barkley, and I think other guys have to be involved because no one else is really getting much attention, okay? I mean, Jahan Dotson, obviously that trade looks bad right now. I'm hoping they can design some plays for him. Johnny Wilson is starting to fire up a little bit. Johnny Wilson, I feel more excited about Johnny Wilson than I do Jahan Dotson right now because I feel like they have more trust in him in red zone, and they'll actually target him on short yardage for some big first downs or getting him a touchdown, which was great. He would have had 2 touchdowns for the year. I think the Jaguars game, he had an OPI call on him. And then obviously the other week before, he just had a touchdown, which was great. First of the year, fantastic. Can't complain about that a couple weeks ago. So seeing Johnny Wilson involved is really nice, but I don't think he's going to be a main target in this offense, unfortunately. But we'll see what happens. So you have between Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is, I would have to say, Hurts is like go-to target when it comes to big plays. Most of the time, he's been the target for Jalen Hurts. So now with Devontae Smith out of the game, they really are going to hone in on A.J. Brown. And, you know, you're hoping maybe you're going to run some double tight end sets. You're going to have Calcaterra, you're going to have Dallas Goedert. They're going to run both of them since Hurts has good chemistry with both of those guys. And then you're hopefully going to get like the running backs in the passing game at least, create some more matchups, some mismatches. You know, maybe use 2 running backs, maybe give Will Shipley some more opportunity, which I doubt they're going to do that because I don't know why they haven't played Will Shipley yet. Kenneth Gainwell is not that dual threat guy, but at times he's good, and at times he gets shut down. Okay, so very up and down, but you still got 2 good running backs going into this game regardless. If they don't use Will Shipley, Jalen Hurts needs to extend plays at times, use his feet at times, not too much. But theoretically, it's really like, who else do we get involved in this offense? Okay, another guy in the box because, you know, your safety moves into the box, maybe because they're like, you know what? We have Saquon Barkley to deal with, but now there's no Devontae Smith. So they're really the Rams are going to have to really pick their poison on that side. And I'm really hoping that the Eagles have at least draw some stuff up this week that the Rams haven't seen, that other teams haven't seen yet. That's the only big thing that's good with we haven't thrown to these other receivers yet because we haven't drawn anything up for those guys yet. So, you know, we'll see what happens. I just don't want this offense to look stale because Devontae Smith is not here. I feel like every time we lose one of these receivers, the offense looks a lot slower. It looks stale at times. The play calling is kind of weird. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm glad A.J. Brown's in this game, no doubt. So maybe you'll throw it up to him a couple times. But like I said, without Devontae Smith there, because you don't have that other threat on the field, they have to start drawing some other things up. That's all I'm really going to say. That first half, first quarter nonsense has got to stop. Faster start. We got to start switching over to the faster starts because it's going to hurt us in the end. You can't go into the playoffs like this. We need those faster starts. So that is the news on Devontae Smith being out with the hamstring. And you know what? I think he could have played this week, but you just don't want to mess with hamstrings, okay? Give him as much rest as possible. Yes, we had a mini bye, but he's been dealing with this the last couple weeks, the last few weeks. So you want to rest some of these guys and make sure they're okay you don't want to lose one of these receivers during the year because then you're really going to have a tough time. Because it seems like the Eagles are already having a tough time when they lose one of these guys. And they don't have anything, they don't have anything planned for anybody else that's really drawn up on the play sheet to get other guys involved, get the wide receiver 3s involved. You know what I mean? So if Devontae Smith is out, Jahan Dotson will most likely be the number 2, and then probably adding somebody, just depending. We'll see how they line people up, but we'll see what happens with that. More roster moves from the Philadelphia Eagles practice squad. So they signed linebacker Ochon Mathis, no idea who that is, and they released linebacker David Anina. If I'm saying that, Anini, I don't know. I can't say names right, so don't make a big deal out of it. But the LA Rams, yeah, I mean, they're 5-5 in their division right now, 5-5. They're a game back as of right now in the NFC West, right behind, I think, the 6-4 Arizona Cardinals right now. So potentially this is a team that could be in the playoffs, no doubt. Their rankings for the year, okay, obviously, they have Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. It's going to be a nice matchup for this secondary, no doubt. Kyron Williams has 750 yards for the year. They don't really run the football well. They're ranked 26, only averaging like 95 yards, but they have two really good receivers. Like Cooper Kupp has missed some time with only 488 yards. They're 7th in passing, 240.6, and they're 21st in scoring points with 21.3. So they're not great at scoring points. Their yards per game, 336. So they're 17th in the league. So they're pretty average there on yards per game. But defensively, they give up a lot of yards. They're average against the run, and they give up passing yards, and they give up a good amount of points. They're giving up, which isn't horrible. 23.9 is not really that bad. I think Matthew Stafford's a good quarterback. I really do. I've been a pretty big fan of him in recent years, and this is a team that's could be playoff bound this year. Okay, Cooper Kupp missed a lot of time, so they really didn't have the passing game that they've wanted this year. But since their offense is kind of going to this game relatively healthy, because they had some injuries on the offense, they had some injuries on the offensive line, so they are relatively healthy now. And I think you could still pass on this team. I think you could still run on this team because it's Saquon Barkley. That's why Saquon Barkley. I don't care. They're a little bit they're average against the run, so they're not great, but they're not bad. But I think this offense should be scoring points. This defense, you have so much trust in your linebackers right now. You have so much trust in Quinyon Mitchell and Darius Slay, and I want to see what this defensive line looks like for another week. I want to see Jalix Hunt kind of get out there, Josh Sweat. I want to see Nolan Smith kind of build on his 3.5 sacks and see how disruptive they are. I think the biggest, besides statistically Josh Sweat being the best defensive lineman we have, but when it comes to other guys, Jalen Carter, it really starts with him up the middle and how disruptive he's been in the backfield, blowing up plays. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. The back end is cleaning up. I never seen a more balanced defense than the Eagles have in recent years. We're not depending on the defensive line and the rotation, and we're not depending on just that. Now it's so balanced where, like, you know what? You're getting a lot of production from your defensive line, a lot of production from your secondary. Quinyon Mitchell, we'll see where he's lined up most likely. Cooper DeJean having a fantastic year. So I think we're, as long as the Eagles don't play too passive defensively, I think they'll be good. I'm not worried about Kyron Williams this season. When it comes to the run game, I'm not really afraid of that at all. Get pressure on Matthew Stafford, take him down to the ground, get in his face, because he is going to throw some picks. I think the Eagles will pick off a couple times in this game, and I think the Eagles will get to 9-3. I do. Like I said, I'm not being cocky. I'm not being conceited about going into this game, but you're facing not a great football team, but they're not horrible either. You know what I mean? So, but who could stop the Eagles? The Eagles. Do not shoot yourselves in the foot in this game. Don't make any stupid decisions on fourth down. And because you have no Devontae Smith, you got to get other guys involved. You got to show, at least give the Rams defense, give them something surprising that they never seen before. That's what the good thing you can take out of this wide receiver core is that you can use different guys to your advantage that you don't even use, and you could really take defenses off their tracks a little bit because they haven't seen what these other receivers could do or anything that these other receivers even getting involved in these games at all. So if that makes any sense, so like I said, the Rams are not world beaters. Okay. The Eagles are world beaters. Okay. That's where we're at right now with this team going forward. But that's pretty much about it, guys. Let me know what you guys think about Devontae Smith being out and what the Eagles need to do, what changes they have to make. Do more wide receivers have to be involved? How do they do it if it's just A.J. Brown? Is this a Saquon Barkley type game? You guys let me know. And how do you guys feel about the defensive line moving forward with Bryce Huff now on IR? As much as we haven't been high on Bryce Huff making $17 million a year and haven't really living up to what he's supposed to be, is it a loss or is it more opportunity for, Jalix Hunt and some of these other guys to get more reps, to get more snaps since he's out of it now, because they will get a lot more reps now, and see what this defensive line is made of for another week. See the secondary, Puka Nacua, obviously, Cooper Kupp, really good wide receiver core, Matthew Stafford with 2,500 yards already this season, and potentially this is a playoff team, for the NFC this year, especially from the West. So that division is pretty close right now between the Cardinals and the Rams. And that's pretty much it, guys. You guys let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day. And make sure you like the video. It helps out tremendously. And I can't wait for Sunday night, prime time. I mean, I feel like we just played prime time last Thursday. We haven't played. I'm shocked. I don't know. It's just not used to playing. We had so many primetime games in 23. It's just kind of crazy. So excited for Sunday night. See what happens here. But the Eagles should be very victorious, no doubt. All right. You guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes one up, false up. Peace out, guys. Peace.